Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Army Men of War Storytime. So these videos are very different to the average episode of Army Men of War, but they're for you guys that love the story side instead of the battles. Or then again, it's for you guys that love both the story and the battles. So what we're going to do usually in every story time, I usually do one every, 4 or 5 episodes, just to keep you guys up to date with anything that I've missed, because sometimes I can be very sloppy with my story and get very caught up in the battles and all the commentating and stuff. So before we crack on with this story, do go and follow me on Instagram. There's going to be a link in the description to my Instagram, and I'd really appreciate if I could get a few more followers. I think I only have a couple of hundred on there at the minute, but I'd like to start posting more pictures and stuff on Instagram. I've got some really big things coming up through sponsorships, and I want to share something that somebody's sending me out something really cool, and I've already got it actually, but I can't show you what it is as it's a super huge secret. But if you go and follow me on Instagram, you will be seeing it in the coming week, so it is in the top of the description. If you want to come and check it out. So anyway, we have Greenland, and Greenland is where the Greens are from. It speaks for itself really. And recently in the series they've not really been getting much action. I mean, they've just been relaxed, focusing on their economy at home. I mean, we do have some operations which are about to take place, and that's because of the current affairs in Eastern Britannia, but we'll get to that in a moment. So we are building up the Green Fleet again down in Valleyput, so you can see the boats replenishing bit by bit. We have got the Tangerians moving down though, so we could be seeing purples engaging the Tangerians. But I'm going to leave a poll in the description for what we want the purples to do. So what we want is, we want the purples, should we advance on the oranges up there and try and take out their fleet with the purple fleet, or should we order the purple fleet to move around the island, move all the way up past Western Britannia, and move on Growl? So there's going to be a poll in the description if you guys want to vote on that one. I will give you 3 options. It'll either be yes, no, or something other. I'll put other as well. But if you guys want to see something like that, that'd be pretty cool. It'd do a bit of a change up in the strategy of Army Men of War. Can't get my words out there. Anyway, Greenland right here. We have everything seems to be quiet. We've got Greenington up north. We have King Greenland up here. He's the head of the UPN Council, and he was the King of Kings, being the head of the UPN Council. And the UPN Council is like an ancient Illuminati, which controls all of what's happening in Plastica, a bit like the Freemasons. But yeah, everybody has a seat at the UPN Council. So over here we do have the Millie Mountains, and these guys are still currently just researching different technologies, a bit like Area 51, and they're also responsible for finding any alternate dimensions. That'll explain the Ravenfield video that we did. I'll provide a link in the description if anybody wants to go and check out the Ravenfield video that we did. I mean, a big shout out to Mythic Game Productions on that one, as he helped out with the models. Other than that, Millie Mountains is doing fine. Greenington's doing fine. There's no action in Greenland itself for now, but we could be seeing something more in the future. But who knows? We've got, what's this town? This is Grenfield right there. That's a coastal town which is overlooking the Isle of Gralta. And Gralta is this island which is prominently owned by the Grey government. They have been sanctioned at the minute, and they've said that all Greys have had to move off of the island. So they've done that, and the island is empty. Or are they? For all we know, we could have some Greys on there still, but we just don't know that they're there. So let me know in the comments if we should put some Greys on that island and maybe invade it. That'd be pretty cool. A volcanic island battle, that'd be awesome. But anyway, we'll move to Britannia, and Britannia is currently on like DEFCON 1. I mean, these guys are on full-blown alert at the minute by the Greys. This is the city of Bludonium, which is the capital city of Western Britannia. And this right here is the city of Bluton, the second biggest city. And you can see the buildings that I've chosen are a very, I don't know, it represents their population more than anything. And you can also see the industrial side with their factories and the smaller buildings as well. So they've also issued an edict, and this was from the Discord server, and it was called Operation Blue Shield. And Operation Blue Shield is where they dig themselves in Western Britannia. They've spent a lot of their plastic resources on digging themselves in and securing Western Britannia. But doing this has weakened the Eastern Front, as they couldn't afford, or do it in time should I say, to get all the defences along the coastlines on Eastern Britannia. And that's where the Greys have just invaded. So the Blues are coming back and making a line. They've sent up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 or 7 companies. They're also defending this town right here. And I think, what's this town called? I know this one over here is Scottsdale. And I can't remember the name of this town. I'll get the name up of this town right here. I have already named it. And beforehand, we did see the Greys. As soon as they come up their beachhead, they decided to attack the airfield. And this was a complete surprise attack on the Blues, as they was not expecting an invasion of this scale from the Greys so soon. So they attacked this airfield, so we're going to go ahead and destroy these Blues. And we'll kill off one company of Greys as well. And this is now their airfield, so the Greys can now land planes and also land some more vehicles from Growl over here. And this is Growl. I've not really come up with many names for the cities yet. I know that the Greys have. I mean, I can get up a map right here of what the Greys have come up with, and it's really awesome. I mean, the guys in the Discord have put so much effort into this island right here. They've even went into the details of all the dams and the power. And I think it wouldn't surprise me if they've done like underground tunnels and sewage and everything. They've just went into so much detail. But anyway, the Greys are now invading Britannia, which is crazy. It's a bit of a crazy move really, because now the Greys are only fighting on the one front and the Reds are fighting on the one front, but the Blues are fighting on 2 fronts. Well, 3 fronts if you think about it, as they have sent over a few thousand men to Vietnam to support the Vietnamese, but we'll get to that very shortly. And also the Greens have sent over some soldiers as well, so they're a bit of a expeditionary force to help the blue and green ideology from the Reds and the Grey forces. Oh, and the Oranges as well, because the Reds, the Greys and the Oranges formed an alliance, and this originated from the Discord originally, and it was called the Alliance of Gore, G-O-R, the Grey, the Orange and the Red Alliance. And I thought that's got quite a good ring to it, so that's in place at the moment. But they've all teamed up and now they're all fighting on multiple fronts. And the Reds, they're pushing through on the neutral zone still. And the Blues have had to turn their artillery away from the neutral zone now. Well, not all of it, but two battalions of it, like 2 companies. And I know companies and battalions are completely different things. I don't know why I said that. But they're also going to be focusing their artillery now on the Grey front line, and they're going to be defending this city here, and they're also going to be stopping the Greys from moving any further inland into Eastern Britannia. So we do have an airfield back here which can support the Blues, but we are going to bring up some planes. Maybe the Greens are going to send some planes and vehicles, and that's what that force is over there. The Greens are going to be sending all of these troops right here to go and help the Blues. And that's not all of them. I'm just saying that's the amount currently. There is going to be a lot more moving over there as well, but I don't want to spoil it all in this one video. So anyway, the Reds are now fighting the Blues, and the Greys are now fighting the Blues, which gives them a multiple front to fight on. It's very hard for them. They're also pushing on these mountain ranges, and it's just a matter of time until they break through there, because the Blues don't have a lot of men to defend these mountains, and they're very short supply on troops in this area, so we could be seeing some reinforcements coming from the capital over to Eastern Britannia. That's if they want to keep it, because if the Reds break through from, I think it's East Highton, being that side, and that's West Highton, it's going to be very devastating for all the Blues in Eastern Britannia, and we could be seeing a huge tidal wave of Reds and Greys, and they could even split the land between them. Could you imagine that? We've got nuclear power stations, we've got plastic mines over here, look. And if they take all that, it's going to boost their economy a ton. And it could even mean that the Greys have a more significant seat in the UPN. And they could even get granted access to a portal to the human dimension, giving them even more abundance of plastic. But yeah, so now we have the Reds. Anyway, the Reds are currently recruiting a lot more soldiers. Each one of these represents 1 company of men, and these are in reserve at the moment. They're the reserves, and they're going to be supporting the front line, which is not very far away, because this happened 200 years before in the First Great Plastic War. The Blues did push on the Reds, and they took a lot of the ground. All this would have been red at one point, and yeah, after the war ended, it was gifted to the Blues as fiefdom from the Greens. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. We will be doing some videos in the future where we cover the olden days with the First Great Plastic War, which I'm thinking of like basing it in like the 1700s or something, or 17 or 8, maybe the 1800s. That'd be pretty cool. So do let me know in the comments. I do appreciate all your guys' feedback. Like I say, this isn't just my series; it's all of our series. We all build it together. And yeah, so the Reds are fighting on 2 fronts at the moment. They're currently pushing on northern Vietnam to support the Oranges, and they're also fighting in the neutral zone. Pretty cool. If the Blues do end up breaking through, which could happen, you know, you never know what the AI decides in the battle, they will break through the wall, and if they break through the wall, look at that, that is pretty much all of the plastic and all of the refineries and stuff that the Reds have all in one place right there. So that would be very devastating to the Reds' economy if that was to happen. So then we move over here, and this is where we move into more of like a China sort of Red. So I'm basing it off like communism. Each nation is based off an ideology, or more of a continent more than an ideology actually. So you've got the Greens are based on the USA, then you've got the Blues are based on Europe, and then you've got the Reds are based on like communism, sort of Russia, China, you know, from the 1960s. Then you've got the Oranges, which are more like Middle Eastern, you know, North African. And then you've got the Vietnamese, the Tans, which are more like Asian, you know, around that sort of part of the planet. And anyway, yeah, so the Reds are supporting the Oranges, and the Oranges are losing so badly in northern Vietnam. They do have a lot of men still in their homeland, but we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, they've been getting their asses handed to them, unfortunately. And that's not by my doing. I mean, I do create the battles, but I do try and script them somewhat fairly sometimes. I mean, war's not fair. I mean, but unfortunately, because the majority of their forces are light infantry, they have been losing a lot of times. So maybe they're going to get a few more wins in the future. Who knows? We are going to be focusing a lot more on the Oranges in the coming videos. So anyway, the Reds and the Oranges are fighting the Greens, the Blues, and the Tans on this front. You've currently got the SBAS and some airborne divisions, not all companies, defending this forest area, stopping the Reds from reinforcing Tannoy. So there's a huge battle going on here, and it's just a matter of time until the Blues can't hold this huge amount of T-34s and all of these infantry. Like I say, this is a 80 to 150 men in each one of these companies. And we do have a T-34 company here, which is going to support Tannoy. We have a general there, and we have 2 companies of infantry and a red company. So these guys are going to be the ones defending Tannoy in one of the next battles. But yeah, so that's going to be a multicolored battle. That's going to be greens, blues, tans, oranges, and reds all in one battle. Looking forward to that one. Maybe we can even bring the greys over as support. Who knows? Let me know in the comments. And also, join the Discord. If nobody's in the Discord yet, be sure to come and join it. There's going to be a link in the description if anybody wants to come and take part in the roleplay and in the community. So, oh, here's the bridge. Here's the northern bridge. So this is one of our previous videos, and this is where we saw the Tans, being these guys here, come across the bridge. Boom, 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 boom. But no, the Oranges fended it off, and they managed to take them out. So we'll retreat one Tan there, and we'll take out the other company there. And now the Oranges proper hold this bridge. So this is a bit of a stalemate right there. But I'd give that win to the Oranges. They did a really good job at defending the bridge, considering the Tans do have air support from the airfield further down south. But anyway, we have Tan Chi Min over here. And in Tan Chi Min, we have General Lu Tan. He is the commander-in-chief of all Tan forces in the north at the moment. We also have, I think we did have General Kerberos, but unfortunately he lost his life in the Battle of Tannoy. Well, the outskirts of Tannoy. I think he was in charge of this company here, and he charged right here, and I think he hit a mine or something because he exploded. I mean, usually if the body's still on the battlefield by the end of the video, maybe I could cook something up and I don't know, make something out of it, like he just got injured or something. But no, not in this case. In this case, he evaporated into thin air. Oh, and there's sirens going past the house apparently. Always good when I'm recording. So yes, Tan Chi Min, this is a previous battle as well. You can see them all. I do put them all into a playlist if anybody wants to go and check them out. So it's all in Series 1 and Series 2. Both series are connected for those of you that are new. Series 1 is the Human Dimension colonies. So a couple of, maybe a year before, has happened. And yeah, so there's a full season of that if you want to go and check out some army men in the human dimension. But if you want to see a more realistic style of plastic warfare, do stick around with Series 2. As it's getting super exciting now. I mean, I'm pumping out the videos on a daily basis, and I'm really enjoying it as well. I'm really enjoying the story. Do let me know if you guys are enjoying the story as well, because I do work really hard on these missions. I mean, I make every map from scratch. I mean, a lot of other YouTubers, I mean, they work really hard, but they don't make all of the maps themselves. Some are the exception, but a lot of them just use pre-made maps. But whereas me, I've got to make the map, I've got to make the mission, I've got to plan the story, so it takes a long time. Luckily, the past week or two, I've had a bit of time to write down some stories and stuff and plan some battles beforehand and pre-schedule them to be uploaded. I'm going to try and keep in a trend of doing daily uploads for as long as I can, really, for as long as I can. Well, until Article 13 takes us out. But I'm going to save Article 13 for a whole new video. That's something very serious at the minute, and it could destroy all us YouTubers, especially the ones in Europe. So anyway, over here we have... Oh, this is the bridge. This is the southern bridge, which we saw. I think that video is actually currently going viral at the moment. It's getting tens of thousands of views. And this is where Major... I think it was it Major Lexington, I think. I can't remember his name. But he is defending this area right here. And he stopped all of the oranges from crossing the bridge by blowing the bridge up. And that's from this. This is FOB Greenington, also known as LC Greenington. I don't know why that plane is in the floor right there. But yeah, he ordered these planes to come and blow this bridge up. I mean, they can't do it with the second one because they need one bridge intact to Tangeria, as the Tans do have forces in Tangeria at the minute. And we'll get to that in a moment as well. So that's pretty much all of Southern Viet Tan. I mean, there's not many men being pumped out. They are still classed as rebels, but if the Tans do manage to take Tanoi in the next battle, either the next battle or the one after that, I mean, I'm trying to switch from colour to colour at the moment, trying to catch a battle from each colour in a different order, keep it diverse. But yes, the Battle of Tanoi City will be one of the next battles. I'm really looking forward to making this one, actually. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's going to be the size of the map like that. That's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be defences, and there's still like, I think there was like 7 or 8 tanks left, as well as the greens from one of the previous battles. So everything plays off of each other in this series, and it always has. We're talking like 200 videos, and each one is connected in some way or another. So I do hope you're all enjoying it. So anyway, Tangeria. And Tangeria is what's known as the Old Tan Empire, and the Tan Empire only fell apart just around a year before, and that's when the colonies from Series 1 fell apart. The Tans got a bit greedy with the colonies, and yeah, the war happened in Series 1, and when the war broke out, everything kind of went to hell in this world. I mean, the Tangerians rose up against the Tans, and then with the economic fall of losing the colonial wars, yeah, the Tans fell apart over here, and that's when Sultan Rumek rose to power, and then Sultan Rumek became a bit of a tyrant. So he got killed off by his own generals. That was voted by you guys in a poll, and now we have Sultan Laventine. He's currently in power, and the guy that I always have in power always has this skin. He always has the same skin for the oranges, and I really think it's cool. So yeah, the oranges at the moment, they've got a lot of plastic mines and stuff like that. So they're pumping out a lot of plastic, but there's only one problem with Tangeria at the moment, and that's because they're facing a civil war. That's because the word of the Tan Rebellion is spreading throughout the whole world of Plastica now, and you can see 10 companies rising up in the deserts. Look, they completely control the city right here, and they're all fighting like guerrilla warfare in the desert. And you would have saw that from one of the previous videos where was it located? I think there it was, right there. You can see the smoke from where it happened, and that's where there was a motel, and it one of the orange colonels being Colonel Gustav, he was staying at the motel with a few of his bodyguards, and the owner of the motel, he rang the Tan rebels, and yeah, he informed him of the colonel's whereabouts. Then they came down and kidnapped him, so that's also going to be a future video. So if anybody is going to start there he is actually. Look, that's where the Tans took him. There's Colonel Gustav. He's currently on a little island in the middle of an oasis, which must be owned by the Tans, so we could have an oasis battle. I mean, that's the size of the map like that. That'd be really cool. But this video it's been a bit more like a live stream than a video. I do hope you guys enjoy these sort of videos. I'm not really used to speaking without a script. So you will be hearing me stutter quite a lot. It's very uncut. And this is where we come down to the Pearlese people. And I've not built the island of Pearl yet, but the island of Pearl is going to be huge. And it's going to go in that direction. I'm thinking about making it into a completely separate battle map. And yeah, the Pearlese pirates come from this island. It's going to be made up of a lot of deserts and a lot of rainforest as well. And I'm even thinking about putting the Pink Nation at the bottom. That'd be pretty cool. So the pinks and the purples will kind of like evolve. The further north you go, and the more the climate changes, and you know, the more purple you get. So that'd be pretty cool. So the purples did ally with the greens and the blues, but not through like an alliance treaty. It was more of like a paid mercenary thing. So the greens and the blues are currently paying the purples to hold Fort Tan ransom. They did say they wanted 1 million plastic ingot, which is a lot, because plastic ingot can be mined into power. And oh, we got to subscribe there. It can be mined into power, and it can also be processed into the economy as well. So each country in this world can only print so much money that they have in ingot. And the world is made up of plastic ingot. You can mine it. I will be going into a backstory of that, of how that came to be. And we're going to be going 4.5 billion years into the past to discuss that. And we're going to be doing a bit of a timeline of how the world evolved into being plastic. And yeah, we've went into a lot of detail. So a huge shout out to Gunther for that, a guy in my Discord. So yeah, the Pearlese people, they own Fort Tan at the moment. They have fought off, I think it was Colonel Peel a few times, and they fought him off to a point now where the purples can actually expand inland and take more land. So you can see that the oranges have retreated to their wall over there, which is pretty cool. So we could be seeing a wall battle, but they have got a power station in front of the wall, which could pose a threat to their economy. So the purple fleet has vanished. The oranges have not found it yet, but they might found it soon. I did put them inside a fog of war, and that's not through choice. I wanted to keep it a surprise for you guys, but like I say, there's a poll in the description. I want you guys to vote whether the purple fleet should fight the oranges or they should circle round and fight the greys. So that's pretty neat, right? We'll change up the strategy. So other than that, I think that's pretty much everything that's happened in so far to date, I think. I mean, I could go into a lot more detail about things, but I don't want to make this video too long, and you know, things are going to happen, things are going to progress, and I want to keep things a bit of a surprise as the series progresses. But I'm super happy to be making these videos for you all, and I'm so glad that you're all enjoying them. I mean, it makes my day to read some of your comments. It's really uplifting. It motivates me so much. And if anybody wants to throw me any feedback, do let me know in the comments. I do read all of my comments on YouTube. It's a bit hard these days to check comments on Steam and through Discord, as I do get quite a lot nowadays. But I do read all of my YouTube comments, so the more YouTube comments, the better. I just I like to spend an hour before I go to bed just scrolling through them, parting some comments and replying to some of you guys. But yeah, I don't think there's anything I can really talk about in this story time. But if there's any questions, do let me know, and I'll be sure to probably answer them in the comment section. And if there's anything too big, I will make a full video about it. Anyway, I'm MightyMapper123, as you all know, and please like and subscribe. We're gaining subscribers at a very fast rate at the moment. I want to try and keep it like that, and also the views are up. Really enjoy making these videos for you all. Things are really looking up for me lately, and I'm really trying to stay positive. So a big thank you to everyone that's watched this video, and I will see you all in the next one.